I come with great news, right? So they just took Nigeria and South Africa off the Financial Action Task Force grey list. And actually that sounds a little bit boring, doesn't it? But trust me, it's a huge move, right? Let me break it down for you, right? So for the past 2 years, Nigeria and South Africa were flagged for weak anti-money laundering rules. And that label made it harder to get investment, harder to move money in and out, and harder to be trusted on the global stage. Now that they're off that list, that means cheaper transfers, faster remittances, and global banks might with inverted commas, stop side-eyeing African money. Nigeria alone pulls in over $20 billion a year from diaspora remittances. That's actually, I think, more money than they've earned from oil in some years. So if banks start playing nice again, that's legit oxygen for families back home and for founders trying to raise capital. But here's the other side, right? FATF rules are Western rules, and some say these grey lists are just modern gatekeeping. But let's be real. I mean, I don't remember the last time I saw Switzerland or the US getting grey listed for money laundering. Did you? Anyway, I digress, guys. So here's how the grey list works, right? The FATF flags countries with what they perceive as weak systems for stopping dirty money, from terrorist funding to fraud and laundering. Once you're on the list, global banks and investors are like, mate, not touching you with a barge pole, and they all pull back. You get extra checks, extra scrutiny, and basically it's the financial version of a travel ban. Obviously, this is a simplified breakdown. The FATF grey list rules are a little bit more nuanced than that, but the power of it is this, right? FATF doesn't just regulate money, it decides who's trustworthy. If they say that your system's risky, the whole world is going to act like your money's dirty by default. And let's not get it twisted, FATF compliance means let us in, but behind the curtain it also means maybe please let us rebuild the pipes and take a cut of every dollar that's moving. You can't tax what you can't track, can ya? Anyway, economic control or just diplomacy? Meanwhile, while the banks argue over compliance, your auntie in Lagos is still waiting on that £100 from London, stuck in review for a week. So is this really a step forward or just another loop that Africa's managed to jump through? Either way, Nigeria and South Africa are back in the room. But the real question is this, right? When will we start to set our own tables? And if I was advising the Nigerian and South African governments, I would definitely say, please don't stop at approval. Build compliance systems that the world has to respect. Own the rails, money moves through, right? So next time, we're not waiting for permission, we're setting the protocol. Anyway, let's talk in the comment section. Did you know this? Are you excited by it? Have I made the grey list sound somewhat less boring? And what are your thoughts?
Good news for South Africa. South Africa has now been removed from the global financial crime list, and Nigeria has also been removed from the global financial crime watch list. Basically, South Africa and Nigeria were on a global grey list, right? Global financial grey list. They were found with having issues of non-compliance, serious non-compliance, high risk to investors, and now we're looking forward to seeing the rand strengthen up a bit. It was at around 17 rand 40 when I went to bed last night. Woke up today, it was around 17.26, and I was quite interested to know what exactly was the shift. And then I came across this article from Reuters. That's why I've mentioned Nigeria also, because people are going to be like, why did you also mention Nigeria? Because this is the article that I'm reading from Reuters. South Africa and Nigeria have now exited the global watch list, and now hopefully their economies are going to strengthen up a bit, right? Their currencies will strengthen up a bit. This is good news. You know, good news is always welcomed in this very tense climate. You know, the commissions and the committees, you know, it can be a bit difficult to look and receive some good news. But yeah, this is some great news for South Africans. I hope it will brighten up your day.
Breaking news coming out of South Africa about the South African musician Mampara Ejab. You don't want to miss this news. Watch it to the end. Let me know what you think about it. And what significance will this have towards the Ethiopians that are in South Africa at this present time? This is a breaking news that just got dropped. You're going to love this one. Mampara Ejaz reportedly kidnapped in Ethiopia. South African music duo Mampara Ejaz has revealed on their official Facebook page that they were kidnapped while on Ethiopia for a scheduled performance. The John Vuli Gates hitmaker did not disclose details surrounding their alleged adoption or provide any updates on their safety. Fans have since flooded the comment section with messages of concern, prayers for their safety and return. Why a lot of people have been speculating that this might be a means for them to actually sell their ticket, that they're not being kidnapped. This image up here portrays the other side of the event also. But the news that they dropped in their Facebook page was so scripted. It is hard to make any sense of it because it's not detailed. It doesn't explain what happened. It just puts in there, as you can see on the poster, that they have been kidnapped in Ethiopia, where they have supposed to perform a live concert. Let me know what you think about this new event and what significant effect will this have on the Ethiopians that are currently in South Africa. Let me know on the comment section. And if you haven't followed the page, make sure you click the red plus sign. You follow the page for any updates on South African news, celebrities, and other global Middle Eastern events also. Until next time, peace.
Listen up and listen carefully. If you're in Cape Town, you may want to keep a lookout for these 4 escaped Pollsmoor inmates. Yes, you did hear me correctly. You see, on the 20th of October at the infamous Wynberg Magistrates Court, 6 trial-awaiting prisoners between the ages of 22 and 33 years old escaped custody. How exactly, however, does not appear to have been disclosed. 2 of the 6 were later rearrested, however 4 are still at large. Unlike a previous video I posted about escaped convicts just a few weeks ago where I didn't have any images, I have all of them now. Please turn your attention to Tawfiq Damon, Linda Soyeza, Mpumeleli Lufuta, and Ishmael George. In addition to escaping lawful custody charges, they are facing charges related to the illegal possession of a firearm, housebreaking, and a warrant of an arrest. And according to reports, this isn't the first time for one of them. You see, one of them from Hanover Park has earned the nickname Runaway Bride as he previously escaped from custody in Philippi 2 in 2023. So many questions. Questions that will most likely never be answered. So all I can say is spread the word, keep a lookout, be safe, and if you have any information on any of them, please contact Crime Stop or use the mobile MySaps app. You know the drill though, keep your eyes on my feed and I'll be sure to keep you in the loop. Until the next one, Bala out.
Breaking news, bad things are happening in South Africa. 58 Ethiopians, they were rescued by South African police. These people, they were trafficked to South Africa with fake job promises. So they were told that we are going to give you a very good job in South Africa. So when they reached in South Africa, they were all locked in one room. This room does not have ventilation. There is no sanitation. So these people, they are doing their business in the same room. And when they were rescued, these people, they were very hungry. They had not eaten for days, not drinking water. They were just suffering in the worst condition. But can you believe this? The people who did this is their fellow Ethiopians. So 3 people they were arrested. He believed that they are the mastermind who are bringing people from Ethiopia all the way to South Africa. It seems like a lot of foreigners, a lot of certain foreigners, they are spelling the name of South Africa. And because of this, South African passport has been restricted in Somalia because of Pakistan-born South Africa. So this Pakistan, they move to South Africa and then they get a South African passport because of its visa privileges. And then they use this passport to move to Somalia. They overstay in Somalia. They even open businesses. And Somalia, they are not happy with this. So to control this, they decided that they are going to restrict all South African passport. So from now on, any South African passport, they have to get a visa in order to go to Somalia.
Europe isn't just investing in South Africa, it is staking a claim. You see, 2 weeks ago, the European Union quietly pledged nearly 12 billion euros, about 230 billion rand, in new investments for South Africa's energy, transport, and health sectors. I mean, it's the biggest foreign commitment we've seen in years, and most of it will fund renewable power, green hydrogen, and critical minerals, the building blocks of a clean energy economy. So now for the EU, this isn't about aid, it's about strategy. You see, South Africa's relationship with the US has been on the rocks this year, from tariff disputes to foreign policy friction, and Europe is moving fast to fill that gap. They see a chance to deepen ties, strengthen influence, and lock in long-term access to African markets, starting with South Africa. But what Europe really wants is mineral security. You see, as the world races to ditch fossil fuels, Europe's green ship depends on a steady supply of platinum, cobalt, and rare minerals used in electric cars, batteries, and wind turbines. And so by investing early in South Africa's renewables and resource industries, the EU is trying to future-proof its own energy transition while keeping Africa's biggest economy firmly in its corner. In Brussels, the EU president put it pretty plainly: we are here to stay. And so while the headline sounds generous, the subtext is power. South Africa isn't just getting investment, it's being positioned as Europe's strategic foothold in the new energy economy. And to catch our full daily news show, check out our accounts or give us a follow for more news updates.
Hold on a minute. Update, because now there's an article in the Times Live about this. Times Live asked for a response and the company actually gave a few responses. You can pause and read. I'm not going to lie, some of the responses from the company do seem rather underwhelming. There are also some issues that they haven't even addressed at all, things you can see in the comments here on TikTok and even on X, where people have been sharing their experiences. I'll leave the link for the article in my captions below and in the comments for anybody who actually wants to see what the article says and what the company had to say in response.
I'm generally a happy person, yes, but I'm afraid I have to be the bearer of bad news. The South African Reserve Bank is cautioning the South Africans that they should expect a slight increase, 3%, in the rate of inflation in the coming year. Now, the coming year is when November 2025, a month from now. This is the same Reserve Bank that the governor had told a few days ago that the rand should be 7 rand to the dollar. And then they, a few days later, make this announcement. And I know that these meetings are had prior to these announcements. And initially, it would be around 7% inflation. But it's all a mind F, because they put up a higher number. Then they announce this to test how are we going to react. But we usually don't have much of a reaction because we don't know about it. Now, if we do have a reaction, then they take it down from 3 to maybe 2. And it eludes you or makes you think it's a better offer or a better deal. It's not. It is not. And I know that a lot of people are skeptical as to let's continue actually with digital warriors. Social media is impactful. You push it until such a point that the media outlets start talking about it, and the people responsible are cornered to answer to us and at least be fair towards us. This can't be our reality. This can't be our norm. Oh, sebesdome enough ukuthi sesijwayele. I mean, that sounds like an abusive relationship, doesn't it? Ay, ngathi GPV like we economical BV.
Have you noticed how many people are cancelling their DSTV subscriptions recently? Millions of South Africans are walking away from pay TV altogether. Main reason is cost. DSTV prices keep rising, while cheaper platforms like Amazon Prime, like Netflix, like YouTube, these platforms offer so much more control and there are no long-term commitment. People would rather pay less and only watch what they want when they want. Another problem is exclusivity, because many of DSTV's channels are now showing content that is already available online. And younger viewers don't see the point of paying for something that they can just stream on their phones. Even sports fans who used to be DSTV's biggest customers, they are now looking for cheaper options online. I mean, the premium and compact packages cost over 1,000 rand a month now. When you add rising living costs, entertainment is often the first thing or the cheaper option that people are going to look for. And with the sport, a lot of the matches are now being streamed online or shown on different platforms. People are turning to free highlights on social media instead of paying exorbitant prices for the full matches. So it looks like South Africans are not really rejecting TV or entertainment, but they are choosing smarter, cheaper ways to enjoy themselves and to watch it.
Breaking news coming out of South Africa this moment. You're not going to believe this one. It's about your former president, Jacob Zuma. This is a breaking news. This one, you don't want to miss any details about it. Watch the video to the end and let me know what you think on the comment section. Your former president is in soup. Jacob Zuma Foundation protests High Court ruling on legal fees. Jacob Zuma Foundation has expressed strong disapproval of a recent High Court judgment ordering the former president Jacob Zuma to repay 28.9 million rand in legal fees plus interest. The foundation argued that the court's decision, which found the state's payment of Zuma's legal fee, which is weird, unlawful, unconstitutional, is contradictory by then holding Zuma personally liable. They contended that Zuma derived no benefit from the state action and that accountability should lie with the responsible officials under the Public Finance Management Act, not an innocent party. The foundation believe the judgment lack balance, fairness, and constitutionally compliance, suggesting Zuma may pursue a damage claim against the state for the harm it endured. Remember, Jacob Zuma has a long history of criminality and corruption charges over his 3 years as president. He was allegedly known as the most corrupt leader that has ever graced South Africa. But let me know what you think in the comment section.
While the US is cutting ties with SA due to our government refusing to be bullied, on the other hand, the European Union is saying we are here to stay. Article says we know that others are withdrawing, we are here to stay. The European Union chief Ursula von der Leyen tells President Cyril Ramaphosa. Basically, what Europe is saying, if you want to cut ties with South Africa, don't involve us. South Africa will remain our friends. That's what the European Union is saying in a nutshell. There are negative ramifications of this though on the South African side. Number one, the US 30% tariffs that have been paused for 90 days that were supposed to kick in around 7 of August 2025. Number two, the AGOA Act that has been extended for another year to be renewed towards the end of 2026-2027 financial year. But for now, we shall wait and see.
So it turns out that Nigerians don't commit crime in South Africa. In fact, they're not even in 1% of the people committing crime in South Africa. It turns out that South Africans are the ones committing crime in South Africa. Anyway, let me explain. Over the years, Nigerians have been tagged criminal, drug dealers, all sorts of bad names in South Africa. In fact, South Africans have gone ahead to call Nigerians drug dealers in South Africa. South Africans have tagged every Nigerian, almost 100% of Nigerians in South Africa, as the bad ones. So recently, South African DPCI, who are in charge of their crime investigation department in South Africa, something like that. So they recently released the statistics of the criminal offenders in South Africa. It turns out that South Africans have the highest percentage, and in all the statistics, no Nigerian were mentioned. Not even 1% of Nigerian was mentioned in that statistics. So it turns out that the highest criminals, or the people who commit the highest crime in South Africa, are the real South Africans. In fact, make it no be like saying I mean they talk. Listen to them yourself.
Dear South Africans, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. We are pleased to share the successes attained by the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, DPCI, during the first quarter of 2024-2025 financial year. The DPCI remains committed to its mandate of investigating, preventing, and combating national priority offenses. Of these natural persons, 489, which is 77%, are South Africans, while 148, which is 23%, are foreign nationals. Of the 262 sentenced natural persons, 173 are South Africans, while 77 are foreign nationals. The top sentenced foreign nationals are 27 Zimbabweans, Lesotho with 14 convicts, Mozambique with 10 convicts. The rest are divided by among the other countries.
So next time a South African tell you that Nigerians are drug dealers or Nigerians commit crime in South Africa, please play this video for them. Let them know that they are the real problem of their self. They are the real crime committers. They are sure the ones who commit crime in their country, something like that. I hope you understand. Nigerians have been called bad names because of their intelligence, because of their high skills of business, because of their resilience in surviving in any condition, in any dark place. Nigerians can bring light into it. So because of that, a lot of countries, especially South Africans, have called Nigerians all kind of bad names, just maybe because of they are jealous of Nigerians. But it turns out that Nigerians actually do not commit the crime which they are accused of committing. Just like when they say Nigerians are fraud, Nigerians do Yahoo. But in reality, the percentage of people in Nigeria who commit this crime or maybe who do Yahoo are lesser to compare to those original ones who are like South Africans or maybe other countries like Indians, or I don't want to mention that name, but you know what I'm talking about. Nigerians actually are not what they call them. It turns out Nigerians are actually good people who do legit business all over the world. But because of how good Nigerians are, they have no other choice but to call them bad name, just to paint them bad. Nigerians are actually good people. But the only problem Nigerians have is bad governance, which is Nigerians' disability. They can't do without it. It is a disability they are born with, but they are managing it. So next time a South African or any other part of the world tell you that Nigerians commit crime, please play that video for them. But before you do that, do not forget,